There are moments when silence stretches too long, when the house feels too still, when being alone doesn't feel like solitude, it feels like surveillance. And it's in those moments that some people do things they shouldn't. You've been alone before, but have you ever been truly alone? Long enough that time stops feeling real? Long enough that your thoughts start forming loops? Long enough that you start to feel like the only consciousness left alive? There's a reason ancient stories warned against solitude. A reason some spiritual paths consider isolation both sacred and dangerous. Because the longer you stay alone, the thinner the boundary gets between you and your mind, between your mind and something else. If you ever find yourself truly alone, long enough for the silence to change, do not do the following things. Not because they're dangerous in the physical sense, but because they might open doors you weren't meant to walk through. Chapter 1. Don't say your own name in the mirror more than once. It sounds harmless. A childhood dare. But the mirror isn't just glass when you're alone. It's a reflection of presence. And presence can warp when it has no one else to bounce off of but you. Say your name once, and nothing happens. Say it twice, and you might see your reflection delay its mimicry. Say it 3 times, and something might answer, but it won't be in your voice. Chapter 2. Never set an extra place at the table. Some people do this for fun, to make themselves feel less lonely. But in folklore across dozens of cultures, setting a place for the unseen guest is an invitation. It's not just symbolic, it's a summoning. And what answers is not always a ghost. Sometimes it's a memory you never had. Sometimes it's a version of yourself that shouldn't exist. And sometimes you hear the chair creak, and no one is there. Chapter 3. Don't record yourself sleeping for too many nights in a row. At first, it's just snoring. Maybe some tossing and turning. Then a whisper you can't place. Then footage of you sitting up, even though you have no memory of it. The longer you record, the more you capture. The more you capture, the more you wonder, is it you who's changing? Or is it something using your body while your mind is gone? Chapter 4. Avoid asking questions out loud that you don't want answered. When you're alone long enough, you start talking out loud. It's normal. But if you ever ask something like, "Is anyone here?" you're not just speaking into emptiness. You're knocking. And something might knock back, not immediately. Sometimes it waits until you've forgotten you even asked. Chapter 5. Don't try to meditate in total darkness unless you're ready to see what's beneath. True darkness is rare. Urban glow, phone lights, even the stars keep us from real blackness. But when you find it, total, enveloping dark, it becomes a mirror in its own right. Meditate there long enough, and you'll feel something surface, not from outside, from inside. And it won't be quiet. Chapter 6. Never count seconds aloud in a silent room. Counting seconds is a trick to calm anxiety. But in total silence, counting becomes rhythm. And rhythm attracts attention. Some say you'll begin to hear a second voice counting with you, slightly off. Others report losing time. You count to 100, but the clock shows 3 hours have passed. And when they play back the audio, there's a moment where you stop counting, but your voice continues. Chapter 7. Don't keep the same dream journal beside your bed for more than 40 days. Dream journaling is a powerful practice. But if you write consistently in the same notebook, some people report the dreams start bleeding together. Characters repeat. Settings evolve. The notebook becomes less of a record and more of a gateway point. One person reported finding entries they didn't remember writing in handwriting that looked like theirs, but wasn't. The last page was dated a week into the future, and the dream it described came true exactly as written. Chapter 8. Don't let the house go entirely silent. Even machines hum for a reason. Silence is not the natural state. It's a vacuum. And vacuums pull things in. If the fridge is off, the power is out. No clocks ticking. No wind. Just stillness. Pay attention. You might start hearing something else fill the space. And the worst part, it's always right behind you. Chapter 9. Never leave a mirror facing your bed for too many nights. There are traditions across the world warning against this. Some say it splits the soul. Others say it reflects your dreams outward. making them visible to other things. People who sleep facing a mirror often report recurring figures, not every night, just often enough that it's hard to believe it's nothing. One woman covered her mirror after seeing herself in it, watching herself sleep, but her reflection didn't move when she sat up. Chapter 10. Don't try to remember what the world was like before you were born. It seems like a harmless philosophical exercise, but thought can spiral fast. You try to imagine a world without you. Then you imagine never existing. Then you try to think about what you were before you were born. And suddenly, something pushes back. Some describe a wave of static. Others, a moment of missing time. But many agree that thought is a locked door. And trying to open it is like trying to wake something that isn't supposed to be conscious. Most people dismiss these warnings. They think the mind is just neurons. That solitude is just peace. That being alone is just being without company. But ancient minds understood something we've forgotten. Awareness is a light. And wherever there's light, shadows follow. The next time you're alone long enough to feel the quiet change, remember this. You're not just observing reality, you're creating it. And if you create too well, too clearly, for too long, something else might notice. If this resonated with you, or if you've ever experienced something strange when completely alone, drop your story in the comments. We read every single one. And if you want more deep, unsettling explorations into dreams, perception, and consciousness, watch the video recommended on screen now. Trust us, you're not alone. Not really.